happened to me today, and give me an idea of something to make some advice I can give you old new timers, you know, rookie drivers. That now that I look back in my rookie days, it caused a bit of trouble. What it all boils down to is, don't be bullied into doing nothing that you either don't feel comfortable doing, that you know ain't right. And this bullying can come from 100 different sources. It can come from your dispatch, you know, trying to, oh, that load really needs to get there on time. They ain't wanting to hear nothing about your out hours or whatever, you know. It's all about that load getting there, you know. Or there's a foot of snow on the ground and you don't feel comfortable driving in it. Tell them no. I mean, in the deep root of things, the absolute worst that happens is they can fire you. And the thing is, the next company you go get hired on for, the one that usually does the hiring is usually the safety guy. And all you gotta tell that safety guy is, why'd you leave your last jobs? They tried to force me to do something I didn't feel safe doing. Said the roads was closed and they were keeping all traffic off the roads because it was icy, and I told them no, I wasn't driving in it. And if they don't hire you because you said that, well, you didn't want to work for them anyway. Every company will tell you when you get hired on that if you don't feel safe, don't do it. We'll back you. For some companies, that's true. Like my company, that's true. I call them, tell them the load ain't getting there. Now, they may not like it. They'll never try and make me do it. That's just one angle of being bullied into something. The thing that happened to me this morning is I checked in at the customer and they told me to get on door 201. I walked back, or ride back there, opened up my doors. You know, something didn't look right, and I walked up and looked at door 201. And sure enough, on the left side, the truck that's going to be on my left side, he's perfectly straight. The truck on the right side is sitting in there with his nose cocked over about 1.5 feet. I mean, his steer tire was sitting on the line that my tire was going to have to run down beside. So I sat there, and they got this little guy wanders the yard. And the thing is, his truck had the red light on. They were unloading him, so he couldn't move. Yeah, come on, I said, what door are you waiting on? I said, that door 201 right there. He said, why ain't you getting in it? I said, there's a truck sitting, that truck there sitting halfway in the lane where I can't. And he walked up there and looked, well, oh, you can make that. No. And see, this place, they love, right across from me is where they park employees' cars. And for some ungodly reason. And he said, well, you need to get in that door. We need to unload it. I said, there's one of two ways this is going to happen. I say, either I can wait on that feller to move, or he can drop that trailer, get his truck straight under it, and hook back up, and I can get in that hole. Don't get me wrong, I ain't scared to back in no hole. But I detest paperwork. And whenever you hear, everybody thinks that when you back up and you hear that crunching noise, that fiberglass crunching. No, that's the sound of a bunch of paperwork fitting to get done. And sometimes standing up for yourself will cost you. You finally get in the door and they'll make you sit there and wait for an hour and a half before they unload you, just to be jerks because you didn't do things their way. But your primary job as a professional freight relocator is to make sure that the freight gets it from point A to point B intact, on time as possible. Now, when I went and checked in, I had a 7 o'clock appointment. I went and checked in at 6:30 and went around there about 6:35. Time the truck finally moved, got unloaded and moved, and I got back to the door, it was 10 after 7. Well, within the window. But you'll run into things like that all the time. Somebody give you directions to get in somewhere, and you'll look down the street, and you tell it ain't no street no truck's supposed to go down. And if you don't think it's safe, don't do it. Because your clean license and your life is worth more than anything in that trailer. I used to work for a company, and the president of that company is famous for saying, and he was stringent about that if you didn't feel safe, you didn't go. If it's snowing, if it was snowing and you didn't feel confident driving in it, park it. You can say it's just freight. They can make more, they can grow more. It's just freight. And you said, if they want it bad today, they're going to want it real bad tomorrow. Say that these customers can't honestly think they can ship 100 loads a day cross country by truck, and a couple of them wouldn't have any problems. And like the company I'm with now, we don't go over the Rockies much. We used to go over the Rockies, kind of regular, but we don't go over the Rockies much anymore. The owner back then, we didn't sling chains. When we started going over the Rockies, that was a first for us. actually have to sling iron, you know. And he did tell you, if you had to sling chains, you slung them to get them on the truck and get the truck into a truck stop or someplace safe to park. And that's it. So don't you be going up and down the road with chains on his truck. Chains are just to be used to get you in a safe parking place. So you sit in the truck stop and you wait till those lights stop flashing. Then you go on across the path. Now, I may not be that extreme, but that's the way he felt. That's the way it was. And he'd pay you to sit there. But like I say, there's 100 different situations, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, like let's say something's wrong with your truck, you drive this truck 6 days, 7 days a week, you know what it feels like to drive it. If it gets a funky little shimmy to it, or noise, or something where you just know it's not right, it's not driving like it is, you know, driven in the past. You call them up, so I need to put the truck in the shop. It's not running. It's not working right. And then, of course, next they're going to ask you, you know, what's it doing, or they might put you through to the shop to ask you what's it doing. And they get back on there and says, "Oh yeah, that happens. Them things regular. Just drive it, and we'll fix it when you get back to the yard." If you're going down the road and the truck's kind of wandering all over the place and you know something ain't right, tell them no. I'd really rather we get this thing looked at out here. It doesn't feel right. Because I can tell you what happened. You tell them that, and then they tell you to bring it on back to the yard, and okay, you're going down the road and a leaf spring snaps on you, and you drive your truck about 18 foot up a tree. How do you think the fallout from that's going to work? You think they're going to say, "Well, we told you to drive it, so it's okay"? No. It's going to be 100% your fault. And they never told you nothing like that. Always remember the line that you, the captain of this ship, if you don't think it's safe, tie it to the dock and don't come on. No matter what none of them say. And there'll be times they get pissed off about it, you know, that you're not doing it their way, but rarely will they ever fire you for it. And then usually once you do take it in the shop and then they find out something might have seriously been wrong with it, then they'll get off your back. Sometimes they'll say, "Oh, good catch." It'll get to where they trust you with your judgment on a vehicle, whether, you know, the vehicle's doing right or not. You know, like right now, if I call my company and say, "Hey, my truck's not right," they want no questions asked. Well, let's find you a shop. And they wouldn't even quiz me on it. Stand your ground. Then remember, you the captain of this ship, and you judge what flies. You have a fine day. If you would, like and subscribe. I appreciate y'all's support. You got any questions? Bebop them down there in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer them. And I'll catch you on the flip side.